Today on Coffee and Cameras, Hilda and I are going to sit down and talk all about the importance of social media when it comes to branding in your business.
The rules we follow and the rules we share with you.
And
What else?
there's a lot more, isn't there?
Yes, they should watch the freaking episode and find out.
Whoa.
This is the good life. Out in the sunshine, nothing but good times. This is the good life.
Okay, I'm good.
Are you sure you have both of your phones in the right place?
No.
Are you,
Yeah, it's bothering me.
why are your phones up here?
Because I have to refer to it for cheats sometimes.
I have everything right here.
Okay, you have bullshit letters and I need like something that makes more sense like Instagram.
Like photos?
Yes, photos.
So you communicate with photos.
Yes.
I'm interested in knowing more about this.
No, I don't communicate with photos. I understand photos better. So where you have your list,
Yeah.
I'll put a couple of photos in a folder. I'm like, oh, those are the things I have to work on. So
Really?
yeah. Don't give me that.
No, this is fascinating.
Some people are more visual
Yeah,
oriented
but
and more list oriented.
literally, like I'm more visually oriented
Yeah.
with most things.
Oh, every time you break out a list, I break out in hives.
I'm aware.
Yeah,
I've seen the
So
responses.
Why do you keep doing it?
Well, so now I'm gonna try and
Draw me pictures.
see. I'm gonna draw you
sketches,
pictures.
Yes.
But you're gonna look at them and go, "What the hell is he trying to
No,
say?"
just draw, cute, adorable, skinny Hilda. Okay, and then what I'm doing, and instead of sending me the freaking bullet points that makes me want to
Yeah,
kill you,
yeah.
then I'll be
So I'll just send photos of what I'm talking about.
photos or sketches.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when you look at it, you're gonna be like, "Why are we talking about a starfish?" And I'm like, "That's a dog."
Well, if you just write dog underneath, if I don't understand,
But so you're okay with text?
text is fine. Just not a list of text that goes on for how many 76 pages?
No, there's only 3 per episode.
Yes, because I made you cut it down. When you first sent it over, it was 76 pages.
Yeah, but no, that's the blog ideas.
Okay, but was I wrong? It's 76 pages.
Your mom's 76 pages,
No, she's 99.
and a problem ain't one.
All the problems. Okay, let's go.
Okay,
All right, here we go.
let's go. Hey everybody, my name's Jaysin.
I'm Hilda.
We are Eo7 Media, and together we're still Eo7 Media, but this is Coffee and Cameras.
Clink.
It's like no time has passed whatsoever.
None. We got new mugs.
You did get a new mug.
so
I got a new
excited.
mug. My mug is from my birthday. My wife got me
One
this.
of your special gifts.
I love this mug. This is like the perfect amount because I can have like 2 giant cups of coffee in one.
Oh.
And it's like the perfect lip size, like nothing
that's
dribbles.
beautiful.
Yeah, it's
Because
amazing.
You need a bib otherwise.
Oh, I absolutely do.
I heard your wife really outdid herself this birthday, huh?
Oh my God, okay. My wife got me. Okay, let's go down the history.
Okay, pick one of your favorites. We
My
need that kind of time.
favorite gift.
Yeah.
All throughout high school and college, I basically was like the prototypical bachelor male. I ate every meal I had out of one piece of Tupperware that my mom left with us when she moved out.
Okay.
And I ate everything. I ate hamburger helper, I ate spaghetti, I had Chinese food. Eventually, it became known as the Chinese food bowl because, you buy too much Chinese food, you want to reheat it the next day. So, Chinese food bowl. But I carried it with me everywhere to class. We'd go to Blockbuster and I just had hamburger helper in this thing.
Okay, that's weird.
Yeah, I know. I'm not proud of it. I just want you to know how much I love this thing.
Oh, okay.
And over the years, the inside got really warped because, you put it in the microwave
Right.
and reheat stuff. So she tracked down the same model from like 1976, 1975.
Wow.
And she found a pristine, very lightly used new model. And then she bought it and she gave it to me in this giant box.
That is the
and
best.
I lost my mind when I opened it up because I thought she just took my bowl and put it in there. But then I noticed it's pristine new. Oh man.
Did you cry?
No, but it was right there.
Yeah.
It was
That is
it was
very
amazing.
touching. Very touching.
It was absolutely
You
amazing.
don't deserve her.
You're right there.
Just saying.
I want to.
Okay.
I
Keep trying.
I would like to. It would be in my best interest too.
Yay!
Clink. Thank you, Andy. So how are you doing? What's up with you?
I actually had a really nice headshot session at the studio.
Yeah?
Yeah, because the lady was just so full of personality, and it took no time at all to kind of draw her out. You know, yeah. And she actually made me laugh like the first 5 minutes, so I was really happy with that. Yeah. But like, it's just sometimes you get such a good vibe from somebody. You know, it's just like, I wanted to hang with her, be a friend, so that was fun. How about
That's
you?
cool. We did a shoot recently, and you were there with me. We shot at the new facility of the waste recycling company that we're shooting, LRS.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean they're a client. It's I can't hide it. And after shooting with them really heavily over the summer and going to all the different facilities,
Right.
we went to one that was like brand new, and it was so cool. Like, to be honest, when you think of like a garbage facility, you don't think of it being like fun or cool, but it really is to see all like the moving parts and everything, and getting to film it and watch how recycling actually really happens.
And to let people know that it's a real thing. People do that. We've seen it. We have the videos to prove it.
Yeah, it kind of blows me. I actually had an argument recently with someone who said, well, recycling doesn't exist. They just throw it in the garbage. And I was like, well, it depends on who your recycling company is.
Yeah. I mean, they post on social media all the time, so you could see what they're doing behind the scenes.
Yeah, I mean, like, their game on social media is fantastic.
Yeah.
They're rocking Instagram. They're rocking TikTok.
Yeah.
Which I thought wouldn't be the right market for them, but it's absolutely smart because anyone growing up right now, that younger generation, is really on TikTok. Like, that's where their heavy market is.
They have all the bases covered. And what's interesting too is that you see that they have different generations of women. Like, the TikTok girl obviously is a lot younger, so she's out there like filming, and then there's different aspects of behind the scenes for them, which I found fascinating. So like, different people have different jobs.
Yeah.
And
their outreach is fantastic.
Yeah.
And they're constantly on my stream. Like, anytime I open Instagram, I don't have TikTok on my phone. I have it on my computer. That's enough for me.
Okay.
Like, I can't do TikTok. I understand that's where it's at, but not my world.
We're getting there.
But speaking of which, today's topic, we are going to be discussing the importance of social media for selling your service.
Yes.
And it's pivotal.
Beyond pivotal. I think it's even more important at this point to be on social media than having an actual business front or even a website. Because especially if you're in the visual industry, like photographers, they probably start with Instagram and then they go to build a website and so on. But you must have social media.
Like, I think it's way more important than like you said, having like that home base. Like, a home base is very important. Having a place where you can go to get more information, like a website, or even it's just like a Facebook page.
Yes.
Like, that's fine. But you need to funnel them down to somewhere. But I just think it's odd, like, when I talk to some businesses, like usually like mom and pop style businesses, small brands, they're not worried about having a social media presence. And they'll say like, oh, I have a Facebook page, that's good enough.
It's not.
And it's not. It's like, everyone lives on social media. So like, even having the like ability to say something, no one's going to hear it. Like, no one watches TV anymore. I mean, there's a reason TiVo was invented, to skip past the commercials.
My 83-year-old mother-in-law is on social media.
Is she?
Yes, she's on Facebook. So this part will never make it to Facebook, just so you edit that for some other social media, but she'll watch all our videos, so not this
really?
part. Yeah.
Okay.
But she's on it, and she'll share stuff, absolutely.
And I think, that's good to know, is like what social media platforms are best for your business. And I think we'll get into that in another episode. Doing the research on like what social media platforms are good, but then not really turning them down. Like, again, like I said, I'm not a fan of TikTok, but we still use it.
Yes, and I'll look at like a fun TikTok all day long, even if I'm not.
Will you really?
Oh my God, yes. Yes, my bride send me TikToks, or like our common friends send us TikToks. I'm like, this is really funny, but I just won't go by myself. It's just like somebody has to lead me there, unfortunately.
It's like going to a theme park. Like, it looks really fun, and I'll go with my friends, but I don't want to go alone.
No, never alone. What's your favorite
social media?
Yeah.
Hands down, my favorite social media is YouTube.
A lot of people would say that YouTube is not social media.
Right.
Though. So
Right.
when did that become social media?
I think it always has been because I think any place where people congregate online to have some kind of a communal communication or communal information or
Right.
education
Right.
is a social media platform. And I think YouTube has always been that, but they're really trying to push it in this last year to be a home base for social media.
Right. Is that why they introduced the shorts?
Well, I mean, shorts they introduced because TikTok blew up.
Right. They
That's
were
why
trying to
Instagram
compete.
introduced the Reels.
Yeah.
YouTube introduced the Shorts.
Yes.
You know, I don't know what Google Plus is doing. I don't even know if Google Plus is still open. But YouTube, I think, is probably one of the best platforms because I think you have like Instagram is really good for the now.
Yes.
And it's really good for like a portfolio place.
Yes.
Like if you want to check out a brand's imagery, like whether you do photography or jewelry or, tea, you go to the brand page, like an Instagram page,
Right.
and you can scroll through stuff so you get a feeling of what they are. But very few people are actually clicking on individual images to read the information
That's
underneath.
correct. That's correct.
So you're getting like a blurb.
Yes. It's like the highlight.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas YouTube is more of a longevity-based social media platform because it's combined with Google. It's the same company as Google.
Right.
Google, like the SEO advantages on YouTube are astronomically more important, I believe, than any other platform.
Because everyone uses Google, and therefore Google owns YouTube.
There you go.
So
And Google loves video. So like that's why when you search something, if you search for like how do you do this, a YouTube video is going to pop up first.
yeah.
So they want you to watch a video. They want to push you toward that. So if you have a presence on YouTube, I mean, it's built-in SEO right there.
Exactly. Do you think blogs are just as important still?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I think blog, and that's what we're trying to do ourselves is really up our blog game because we want to build that SEO.
I think it's almost easier at this point to make YouTube videos than write blogs. Don't you think?
I think the new wave of YouTube, like where it's going right now, is quality is almost more important than quantity.
Okay.
Because I would rather spend like a good, and that's the other thing about YouTube is they want the longer form videos. Like the shorts are where it's at because it's that instant gratification. Let's move on to the next thing. But like a lot of people are like me. They're striving for those 20, 30, 40-minute videos that they want to be entertained or engrossed or just listen. And basically it's like a video podcast. I mean, this is what we're doing.
Oh, is that what this is?
Yeah, we don't just hang out.
Oh, jeez.
There's actually cameras
You
here.
got me here with the free snacks. Damn it.
Yes. That's not what I normally pay you with?
Cash money.
Damn it. What do you think about YouTube? Being like, so I'm the videographer,
Yes.
you're a photographer.
Yes.
YouTube probably isn't in your realm normally, but what do you think of it?
I mean, unfortunately, I watch a lot of YouTube because during editing, I have it in the background. So it's like sometimes I glance over. And I do love YouTube. I love watching it. I love using it. I love sharing it with friends. But making stuff for YouTube is really difficult for me because
How come?
I'm awkward in front of a live video camera. I like being behind the camera, not in front of it. So
It's funny you say that because every time we shoot you, like you just like come alive on camera. Like you're funny, you're engaging.
I'm pretending.
Well, yeah, we all are.
Okay.
You guys don't want to watch what I'm really like at home. I'm sitting on a couch eating Funyuns.
Oh, not the Funyuns, the blue thing that turns your tongue
Okay.
all the time.
Let's go honest here. I'm drinking Diet Dr. Pepper. I'm drinking the Diet Dr. Pepper through a red vine because I don't like Twizzlers, and I am eating blue sharks, gummy sharks. This is why I am the physical beast that you see in front of you of pure sexual magnetism.
Not touching that.
Body by gummy bears.
Oh boy. I'm sorry.
Let's get back on target.
On target.
What is your favorite social media platform?
Obviously Instagram because of the pictures.
Is it really?
That's what I do. I put pictures on the internet. Yes, I love Instagram because I like finding out stuff visually. Like I scan, and I'm like, oh, that looks good. So I just, I guess I'm a visual person because I'm a photographer. So I like it. Yeah. And it's easy to share. And like for me to share my work, obviously. Yeah. But I love browsing and I love keeping up with people. And so it's Instagram.
So do you find yourself like, even if you're not using Instagram as like a marketing tool. Are you finding that you're on Instagram more, like for pleasure?
It's the first thing I open. in the
Really?
morning. Yes.
Instagram's the first thing you open in the morning?
Yes.
How come?
Before even my emails. Just want to see what's up.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
Why?
Because Instagram is usually like the thing where I sit down to work, then I open it up.
Oh.
Like I get up in the morning, I check my email.
End of list.
That's about it.
Okay.
We got to take care of the cats. I make a drink in the morning. I sit down.
Yeah.
I make sure all my emails are answered. Then I'll open up social media.
Okay, and what's the first thing for you?
YouTube.
Okay.
Always YouTube, because I don't get comments on anything else. YouTube, I'm getting a great source of constant engagement.
Oh, so you're looking for the likes and the rush that you get.
Actually, I'm not. I was for a long time. I'm really at the point right now where, like last year's New Year's resolution, one of them was don't care about the numbers.
Okay.
And that helped so much.
Really?
And I'm pulling that into this year too. Is like we're going to create all this content, we're going to make all this cool stuff, but I'm not going to really care about the likes and stuff. I mean, I do. Trust me. Please validate my likes. Please validate my worth. But it's not about that to me. To me, it's about maybe someone out there will get a chunk of this information and use it for their own business, for their own brand.
You want to keep educating people.
I want to keep educating.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're definitely an educator by nature.
I love it. So most of my engagement, like my engagement on Instagram is always like pretty picture. That's cool. On YouTube, it's like, okay, I appreciate this. How do you do this?
Got it.
I think YouTube is much more like people are looking for answers on YouTube.
So it's more interactive. Then.
It's way more interactive.
Okay. I guess I'll have to start paying attention.
Same with TikTok's very similar to Instagram, where it's like, cool, that's funny, blah 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 brought me here.
Yeah.
I don't. That's not a value.
Yeah. And I guess that's the thing. You got to find what's fun for you, what works for you, and then if you want to do it, for your business, then it doesn't matter if it's fun.
And that's what it is. It boils down to
yeah.
business. So let's talk about our rules. And this isn't so much like a cut in stone what you should do. Find what actually works for you, but we're going to talk about what we do for our own social media, and probably more important, what our goals are and how we're going to be doing this moving forward. Because last year we had this whole plan about, oh man, we're going to make our brand awesome. We're going to do all this social media. And then we got a lot of work.
Yep.
We got slammed with work and everything kind of took a back seat.
Including social media.
Including social media, which is a dire no.
So we have more realistic goals for this year.
We do have more realistic goals. So let's go ahead and dive into our social media branding goals. And that's what it comes down to this is brand marketing. You have to worry about who you are as a brand.
Yes. And it not just, here's my logo, here's a pretty picture.
Right.
I think it becomes more than that. It's the whole concept of who you are as your brand and what you're doing to represent that.
So what goes into branding? Like before we even get into social media, before you even start an account, what do you need to be concerned about with your brand?
Well, first you have to figure out who you're selling to, who your target market is.
Good.
And then, kind of see if your brand can match that. And if not, then come up with a new plan.
Okay. So what else goes into branding?
What you put out there, somebody's face obviously is like the face of the brand, so it's like, sorry people, face of the brand. I mean, and what's funny is that when I ask if people know you, they're like, oh, I don't know him. I'm like, tall guy, red beard. Everybody knows that. So you're like, literally, that's like your brand. You're the tall guy with the red beard.
I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Like, I think you should be able to draw your brand pretty simply.
Really?
Like when you get into like illustration rules, like comic book worlds, they always tell you when you create a character, you should be able to tell who that character is by their silhouette.
Interesting.
Like you should be able to just do a silhouette and I'd instantly know who that character is. So I think by working with your brand, whether it be your color scheme, your font, your branding logo, and a logo is different than a graphic. Big difference. We'll get into that.
And having a logo does not equal branding. Some people mistake logos
correct.
as branding. And that's
branding
not
is everything you exude, everything you put out in the world. And just like you said, tall guy with a red beard, that's my branding. That's why I'm not shaving. It's also why I wear a hat. It has nothing to do with that I'm self-conscious. But that's why like I'll always wear like the same color tones and things like that, so you'll instantly know who I am, regardless of what I'm doing.
Absolutely.
And that's really important for all brands, businesses.
Yes. I mean, that's why I have like a red background, you know, on my Instagram photo, and I have like red accents at my studio, so because red is part of my logo. It's also my favorite color, so that's kind of what I put forth.
For your own...
For my own separate
For your
branding,
own logo.
yes.
Yeah, you're confusing the hell out of
sorry.
one person who doesn't know. So
these are earthy colors.
Yeah, we are Eo7. Our branding colors are copper, gray, black, and white, and cream.
Although sometimes you have to use silver to make it pop more.
But the beauty of that is that the black is still the driving force. Yeah. And then the red tones and things like that. But having that as a consistency.
Yes.
And you do that in your social media. You do that on your website.
Yes.
Things like that to keep the consistency
Yes.
up. So that's the tip of the iceberg when it comes to branding.
Much more.
So once you have all that in place, and I
Yeah.
love the idea that you brought up that do your research on your market.
Yes.
I think that's
I mean, even if
so
you don't
important.
do your research, just like identify it for yourself. Like I never did any research when I started shooting, you know, people. But I'm like, okay, what do I want? I want babies and pregnant women. Well, those two are pretty closely related, you know. So I reached out to all my friends who were having babies or, you know, pregnant. So that's where I started. So that was my quote market research.
You reached out to your friends who were having pregnant women?
No, who were pregnant themselves and having babies.
Makes far more sense.
Yes.
When you're talking about your audience, I think your audience is a huge part of your type of business. So doing the research on your audience like that. But I also think what's really important to know is regardless of what audience you're actually selling to or whatever you're selling, you know, whatever service you're actually doing, is that you are not your audience.
Oh, you are the perfect example of that.
Yeah.
How many times do I have to yell at you that you're like, I don't get this, I don't like that? I'm like, but you're not your audience. Yeah.
Minimum once a week.
Yes. I don't know, but what were some of the examples I yelled at you about? I forget.
Like my perfect example, at least from the communication we just had so far, is that I don't like TikTok. Because I don't like short form and I don't like vertical video. Being someone who's really trained and really honed their craft in a horizontal type of media, it's very hard to revisualize that. You know, it's like saying like, hey, you farmed all your life. You're a really good farmer. Now you're an astronaut.
It makes that much of a difference? You're kidding.
I mean, I was trying to do a Mitch joke there, and Mitch Hedberg. It's like, now you're a farmer, but you know, now can you cook? It's like it's in the same world, but it has nothing to do with each other.
That's my perfect example. You're talking to the 95% that don't know what the hell you're talking about.
So you are not your audience, and I think that's really important.
So how did you find your audience? What did you do?
Oh, man, I don't know, because I think we're still trying to find like we're getting our branding. We're understanding our branding, I think.
Yes.
And I think an audience is always evolving too, because when we first started, we really wanted to focus on like small to medium size businesses.
Yes.
And then we found out, we started doing this and we're like, when COVID hit, you know, work went away. So I started doing more like educational videos. And that's when all the work came in. When people started seeing like value, which we'll get to in a second, when I started educating other people about what I knew, they were like, that's great.
And what you find interesting, because I think that's when the passion comes out.
Yeah, and I think that's important. Just because you're not your audience doesn't mean you don't like what you're talking about.
Absolutely.
But my audience, you know, who I am, I already know all this stuff. Why would I talk about it?
Exactly.
Because I'm not my audience.
Exactly.
You know, what kind of aspects have you found in the not being your target audience? Like your target audience is not you.
I guess the cost is a big factor. I hate to say it.
That's a good point.
Yeah, it's like I can't afford me.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. And it's like, I know that sounds dumb, but it's like, because I am not a college educated woman living in the Loop, you know, who makes $100,000. I'm not that person, so I can't afford me. But that's my ideal client. That's my target market.
That's true. Yeah. While you are understanding that you are not your audience.
Okay.
And you're understanding your brand.
Yes.
I think one of the most important parts about branding and marketing, digital marketing on social media, is post content.
That is the biggest struggle for me. I have so much freaking things to post. I have thousands of pictures sitting on my hard drive, edited beautifully, ready to go. I should be posting 3 times a day. If I post once a day, I'm really doing great, but I don't even do that. We have to get better at that. I have to get better at that.
We both have to get better at that.
You're much better than I am.
I was for a while. That took a back seat when work started coming in. But let's talk about this for a second. Maybe 2 years ago, the rule of thumb was you have to post every day.
Yes. And I think
once a day, every day.
Now I'm hearing it's 3 times a day.
Now it's 3 times a day.
But that's a little ridiculous.
It's really ridiculous.
That's the suggestion. It's ridiculous.
Now, the reason for that is because there's a lot more brands out there. There's a lot more social media presence of brands in general. Those posts are getting lost. Like,
right.
There's so much more people posting.
That's true.
That there's more stuff on the feed. So if you don't post enough, your stuff doesn't show up on their feed.
And also you get to find out if you're posting, let's say actually doing it 3 times a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, let's say, then you know which one has a better feedback or reaction or clicks or comments or whatever.
I think that's an amazing point is we're going to talk about that in a second, but know your analytics.
Yes.
Analytics are, let's go ahead and talk about it now. This is out of time, but out of structure, words,
sequence.
Chapter, sequence.
You need a list.
I need notes. Will you draw them for me?
Just zoom in.
Zoom in so my old eyes can read them better. So analytics are what basically is your feedback of your social media. And if you aren't using your analytics, guys, stop what you're doing.
Just
keep watching.
After this, just Google Analytics, right?
Yeah.
So
Google or Instagram or Facebook or YouTube.
Got it. So you can have analytics on all your socials.
Every social media platform has its analytics.
Okay.
And it is eye-opening when you actually look at the stuff. And it's hard for me because I'm trying to not care about the numbers so much.
But you're still checking it.
But I'm still checking the analytics because I want to see what works. Mm-hmm. And
so what works?
Perfect example. So I did research on videographers talking about video stuff or photo stuff. Photographers talking about photos. Usually video and photo are like the same world. It said my prime time was 11 to 1 p.m. on a weekday.
Okay.
11 to 1 p.m. is prime. Like it is like bright red. Like those are obviously the best times to post.
Okay.
So we did a video not that long ago where we sat down and talked about the wedding advice from the 1800s.
Yes.
And we cut that up into little shorts. I posted it on YouTube, and I'm going to do a whole vlog about this pretty soon. But so what I did was instead of following the 11 to 1 p.m., analytics that they told me to post in, I posted one at breakfast time at 8 a.m.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, 7 a.m. I posted one at 11 a.m. And for grins and giggles, I posted one at 6 p.m. Because I thought, hey, people are getting off work. Maybe you want to mess around a little bit. So I posted 3 different videos at 3 different times. The 7 a.m. one, I got like 2 hits.
2. Okay.
The 11 a.m. one, I got 1 hit. 1 view.
Wow, that's pathetic.
6 p.m. one, I got 5.6 thousand views.
Shut up.
Yeah. So the analytics aren't going to necessarily tell you exactly what to do. It's basically telling you what happened after the fact. So you can come up with your own interpretation of it.
Obviously, 6 p.m. is the prime spot for you.
But then I did it again the next week.
And?
Didn't get those numbers.
So also subject matter helps.
Same videos.
Oh.
The same cut downs.
So what do you think?
It really depends on where the audience is. And how this algorithm works is YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, how it works is the more people watch it, the more people are going to watch it. That's how things go viral.
So
it doesn't,
you share and then it recommends and...
Not really.
No.
How these algorithms work is you're on your phone.
Okay.
If you stop on a video for a second, it reads how long you are watching this. Okay? So that's why the first 6-7 seconds of your video are so pivotally important because you need to get their attention right away, have them stop, be like, okay, I will pay attention for 30 more seconds. The algorithm's reading that, and it's going to introduce that video to other people as well as recommending other videos similar to this to you.
Wow.
So
that's fascinating.
It really, it's scary.
So you literally have 5 to 6 seconds to grab someone's attention.
The rule is you have 6 seconds. If you don't catch their attention in 6 seconds, they're gone. That's why like the YouTube videos, the commercials before the videos, those are so short because you have to get their attention before someone skips by. And I know I'm shooting myself in the foot by saying this, But don't advertise on platforms where people literally are willing to pay to not see your advertisements.
Such as?
YouTube.
Gotcha.
You pay for YouTube Red, right?
Yes.
Because why?
So I don't watch commercials. Yeah.
Even though that is literally our business.
Yeah. And it's called YouTube Prime.
Oh, they changed it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I that is the best money we spent in that. Like, I love not watching commercials. I love not watching them.
So maybe instead of making commercials for your company, make organic growth. So let's talk about that.
Yeah.
You are going to be posting content. And the rule of thumb now is 3 times a week. And I say it so haphazardly like that because that's obnoxious.
3 times a week?
Sorry. 3 times a day.
Yes, that is
3 times a day.
obnoxious. Yeah.
It is obnoxious
Yes.
because that's a lot.
It is.
I read a blog post that said email marketing is like the new big thing. Like it was for a long time and
Yes.
now it's back.
Yes.
And they, how many times do you get emails from companies where it's like once a week and you're like, okay, calm down.
Oh, yeah. That pisses me off.
This blog said you should do it at least once a day.
Oh, I unsubscribe so fast.
I don't care
So
if it's
fast.
something that like I'm super interested in,
yeah.
like a brand that I
Yeah,
love.
I'll sign back up later. No, if you're
Once
going to
a
blast
day.
me once a day, it's way too much.
So be careful with
Yes.
that. Again, we're not our audience.
Yes, unless you're providing some sort of different value
Yes.
or like people want those daily emails. Because sometimes you have the options of like weekly, daily, monthly.
Right. That's so much.
It is a lot.
And that's exactly where we're going next. Value. Are your posts filled with value? There's a rule in the social media, digital marketing in general, called the 80-20 rule. Do you want to talk about the 80-20 rule?
Sure. I think if I remember correctly and if I was paying attention in class, 80% of the time you share something of value to educate people, and 20% of the time is when you sell yourself.
Yeah.
So this way you're not like shoving yourself down like they're sort of going, buy me, shop from me,
Right.
I'm awesome. It's like you're educating people about your brand and what is interesting to you.
My favorite example of this, and I literally just thought of it right now,
Okay.
is when you go to the mail, like your mailbox.
Yes.
Everyone loves getting mail. Like real mail, like letters from family, Amazon packages. Everyone loves getting mail.
Yeah.
But then you get the shopper, like that grocery store that shows all the discounts, right? Every once in a while you go, I wonder what's in here. I'll look around a little bit. It's cool. But there's no value in those.
No.
There's nothing in that giant wad of paper that makes me go, you know what? I'm going to read this. I'm going to look at this.
That's true.
9 times out of 10, easily 9 times out of 10, that thing goes right in the
Yep.
recycle bin.
Yep.
I'd never look at it. I don't care. I've thrown away bills by accident doing that.
I was just going to say always check the inside, 100%.
But because there's no value to me, there is zero marketing.
Okay, so they're wasting their time.
They're
would
wasting
you,
their
Would you
time.
read it if there was like an educational something on?
And I don't think
then-
it has to be educational.
Or
It just has to be
interesting, or
yes.
funny.
Yes.
Okay.
So let's say the thing is like 10 pages, right?
Okay.
If you make half of those pages, you do like what's interesting in the news in food.
Right.
It doesn't have to be like an expose.
Yeah.
Just
or
like
even like throwing a little block for like coloring, and the kids can color it.
or a
Yeah.
comic strip.
Yeah.
Having jokes about the grocery store, something like that. I would read it every time.
And then your eye would fall on the coupon next
And
to
then
it.
you fall on the coupon, and then you fall on the branding, and
Yep.
then you start paying attention to what they're offering. If you are constantly being bombarded with a brand being like, buy our stuff, I am no longer interested.
That is correct.
None. That's why, like, when you go to the movies, right?
Yeah.
You sit down, you watch the local commercials before the movies.
Okay.
They're never value. It's always like, come on in for a free estimate of your car repair. No,
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Yeah, that's a huge turnoff. No, absolutely.
But if you have 30 seconds in there to make a commercial, make like 20 seconds of that, something fun.
or interesting.
Get-
or funny.
Give me a little short film. I came to watch a movie. Know where your marketing, where your branding is going to live.
That is correct.
If you're showing it in the movie theater, make a little short movie. I don't care if it's bad quality.
Can you make 30-second movies? Oh
Why
yeah,
not?
they're called commercials.
You can make a little story
Okay.
that would be really fun and engaging.
Yeah.
And
Those
then
are
sell
my
your shit at the
favorite
end.
commercials ever, are the ones that are selling me something, but almost by accident. Like a lot of the Super Bowl commercials are
Wars
always
kid?
entertaining. Yes, the Star Wars kid with the car.
Volkswagen.
Yes.
And the only reason I remember that is because all I remember, Star Wars kid, car starts, had no idea what the brand was. But I wanted to watch it again,
Yep.
so I had to figure
and
out what it was.
you sent it to me,
Yep.
and then I shared it with everybody because the kid was adorable and it was
Yep.
funny. So it's like I've shared many commercials
Yep.
that are actual commercials because it's so funny.
Or emotional or engaging.
Yes.
Tell me a story.
Yes.
Entertain me. Give me something of value.
Yep.
I don't need to
want to
learn
be
something.
sold to.
People don't want to be sold.
Even if you literally are selling to them, they don't want to know that.
Correct.
They just want to feel the warm and fuzzies and be entertained. you know?
Right. You want to have some value.
Yeah.
This is why we're doing this.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, business.
Midnight.
So think about like the grand majority of your stuff you're going to put out has to have value for other people, because then you become an authority of whatever you're trying to preach.
That makes sense.
And once you have the authority, then you have their attention. Once you have their attention, then people will come to you for more of that authority. For instance, when we started doing these videos, these educational videos during COVID, like I mentioned, we got a ton of work from it.
Yep.
Because people go, oh, they know what they're doing. Let's just hire them to do it for us so we can focus more on the business.
Yep.
And they can take care of our marketing for
correct.
us. Have that authority.
even if
Show value.
even if you don't currently have the authority, do some research.
Right.
Educate yourself
Right.
so then you could share and educate others.
Yeah. And again, educating doesn't mean to have like us, like preaching, you have to do this, you should do this. It can just be of value. Give me that comic strip, that tiny little engagement, and I'm more willing to look at your grocery seller that I never look at anyway. I think it's really important when you're dealing with a brand and social media to actually be social. I think you should show your face
Yes.
of a brand. Let's talk about this because this is your realm.
Okay. I actually hate showing my face on camera.
Like you never know it for how many like behind the scenes stuff
Yes,
you do.
because you force me to. It's not because I want to. If I'm comfortable at my stories when I make my own stories and I'm just like chatting and whatever. I feel comfortable with that. But like actually sitting down to film is really uncomfortable for me. But I know both are important.
Yeah.
So it's you got to show your, if you want to engage your customers and show that you're a human being that is deserving of your money,
Right.
then, post to your stories. That's what I try to do. That's like, if you like my personality and you connect with me, you'll hire me. That's what it is. So I can't pretend to be something I'm not. I mean, I can, but only for a short time. It only meant 30 seconds, then the real me. Then I'm going to start cussing. So sorry. Yeah. So if you don't like cussing, don't hire me.
Not the best sales pitch.
I know, but you never know.
you get to pick your
I'm
customers.
going to find the right market.
You're gonna find the right
Yeah.
market.
But do you like posting on stories?
For the longest time, I didn't, just because I'm more of a private person, to be honest.
Okay.
I don't think the world needs to know what I'm doing on a daily basis, but I understand the value because I am not my audience.
Yes.
I don't need the satisfaction of telling everyone I got a new car.
Oh, but the new car, you love the new car.
I love my new car. So
You should talk about the car.
I'm not going to talk about the car.
Talk about the car.
I got it from. No, I'm kidding. I was going to go into like a whole commercial of where I got it from. They're awesome, by the
No,
way.
they
I'm
can
not
pay you to make a commercial.
But they can pay me to make the
Yes.
commercial. Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. Go ahead and reach out to us. So yeah, I think showing your face is very important because you are literally putting a face to your company, and people recognize faces
Yes.
before they recognize anything
Yes.
else.
And they'll stop, and instead of reading text in a story, if you're
Yes.
talking or showing, or you're showing somebody else
Mm-hmm.
doing something fun, absolutely, that's you have to do that. And I think it's more casual in the story too, so you don't feel like so awkward.
Right. So you brought up stories now. Let's talk about stories. What is the importance of stories in social media?
That it lets you see like the rawness of who you are. Like I'm okay posting with no makeup in the story. It's
How
like I
come?
don't. Well, because they know that people know that it's like it's a real person, it's real life. It's so I could be like, oh, look at my cute kitty cat. Hey, good morning, but I have no makeup on, and I'm like, I don't care because they disappear after 24 hours.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Do you think there's an importance to that 24-hour period? Because all the social medias have the same kind of premise, pretty much.
Yeah.
besides YouTube and TikTok, but you have these short form content that vanish. It's like an impermanence.
Yeah, I feel less self-conscious in knowing that it's going to vanish.
So you're more willing to like express truths.
Yes.
Interesting.
Oh, I like how you put that, but yes, that's exactly it. I don't feel like I have to dress up or get
put on a show.
lighting and put on a show. Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's interesting.
I mean, isn't that true for you?
I always feel I kind of have to be on when I'm on camera. Stories, I have to be doubly so.
Why?
Because if I look at people's story, again, I'm not my audience. I am not a fan of stories. I will look at them because be like, what are you doing today? But as soon as I see like professional looking stories, I click
You're
off.
out.
I'm not interested. I'm interested in what you said. I want the rawness. I want the realism. I want like, I'm chilling out at home. Here's my slippers.
Yeah.
I'm like, those are cool slippers.
Yeah. And I like also seeing like what my clients are doing. So I like watching
Yes.
stories too.
People being silly,
Yes.
people like engaging their lives. But if it's like a beautifully posed image, I'm like,
Yeah,
nah,
no,
pass. Not my thing.
That doesn't belong on stories anyway.
That's interesting. But like the professionals out there say you should be posting that kind of stuff to stories as well.
So post both. See what works for you.
Bingo.
See what makes you happy. And I think that's the thing with stories. It doesn't feel like it's a struggle. Like I have to. So just the fact that I don't have to do stories, it kind of like makes me, because I know I should be posting, and the whole have to post to Instagram every day. It weighs on me. Whereas the stories is just more casual. Oh, there's my dog. There's my cat. There's my breakfast. Whatever. Watch it or don't. I don't care. But I feel less stressed about it.
So why is it important that people post to stories?
Because usually that's like the first thing that pops up when you like open your Instagram. The stories are the first thing that you're going to see because it's right at the top in giant red circles.
Yep. And you'll see that before you see anything. Like when you open up Instagram, those stories at the top are going to be there.
Yep.
But your post might not.
That is correct. So it'll say story, and then it'll say your logo above it or name above it. So definitely.
Yeah, I think that's pivotal. And I didn't understand that until just recently, actually.
And it's a visual thing. It's a visual grab with the circles and the red.
Yep.
It seems urgent, like I should click on it for some reason because it's like right there.
Well, that's color theory.
Oh.
Let's talk about that in another episode.
Another episode. Got it. Moving on.
Everyone knows what hashtags are, but why are hashtags important?
Because sometimes people follow certain hashtags instead of, just writing it for no reason. It's like I follow the hashtags that are interesting to me, such as Chicago model, because I do a lot of model calls, or the certain like the gluten-free brands that I like. Then I follow gluten-free snacks, stuff like that. So every time somebody posts about it with that hashtag, it'll show up in my feed, even if I don't follow them. So it like exposes me to like new companies, new brands, new people. So it's fun, I guess.
So it's exposing you to an audience that probably wouldn't have found you to begin with.
Yes.
But also, what are some good takeaway rules for hashtagging?
That you shouldn't do too many. No, but
what's too many?
I think the rule used to be 30. Up to 30, and I think now the new rule is between 5 and 10.
Oh, that's dramatically different.
Because they wanted to be very specific, because it was cluttered up, and I think it was.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and it's just too much. It looks gross. Like if you have like.
It does.
Like when the post is longer than like the hashtags are longer than the post itself. It makes me nuts. So yeah, maybe that's what it is. Why do you think that is?
I think what you're doing is you're hyper specifying different niches.
Such as?
So for instance, instead of like when we do a wedding post, and you hashtag it as wedding, well, there's a lot of stuff that goes into wedding looking. But maybe if I go like Chicago wedding videographer, then
just
it's
Chicago wedding.
Then it's specific. Yeah, then you're going down to the more niche. So instead of shotgunning 30 different hashtags, maybe do 10 highly specific to that post.
Yes.
Not just for the brand, for the post.
Got it. So for example, if it's like a nature photo, then you would write Chicago nature photographer.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Because here's what I'm taking away from it. Because for years, I always posted like wedding videographer, Chicago wedding videographer, Chicago corporate videographer.
So what'd you change?
Well, here's the thing is people who are looking for those are not looking at those hashtags. They're going to be looking at the venues.
And
they're going to be
dresses.
looking at wedding inspiration.
Yes.
They're going to be looking at all this other stuff. They're not going to be looking for Chicago wedding videographer. They're going to be looking at like best day ever. You know, they're going to be looking at stuff they're actually going to be looking for. So if you go on Google, you can actually like look up the most used hashtags, and some of them are pretty generic. That doesn't mean that's what's going to find you a new audience. It's going to mean that's going to mean what people are actually using.
Got it.
So researching your I was going to say rivals, researching your competition. And then competition of your same price bracket, your same, you know, aesthetic, same kind of value, and then see what they're hashtagging.
But don't copy
But
them.
don't copy.
Yes.
See what posts are getting the most engagement, and then take stuff from them, but then kind of reword them to yourself. But some of those hashtags, just copy them.
Right.
I'm not saying the whole thing.
Right.
Oh, do not do that. But getting some ideas, that's how you get started.
Got it.
Because some of those hashtags might be like super weird. Like, I don't know. Like, I can't even think of what it would be, but that's why I copy.
Got it. And there's nothing wrong with that.
So speaking of getting engaged with other people on Instagram, on social media, I keep thinking of Instagram, but you're right. It's social. Especially with YouTube right now, who just started the whole
you can tag people.
You can tag people. You can tag creators on YouTube. Why is tagging so important? Why did YouTube spend millions of dollars to create tagging on a video site?
Well, I think because then people are exposed to cross-posting and things they wouldn't be exposed. Like, you can tag people and places, right?
I don't know about places.
Like Eo7 Media, like as a location?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, not as a location, not on YouTube yet, but social media in general, absolutely.
Got it.
So why is it important?
Because then it brings more people to where you're tagging them. Absolutely. Like, I love to tag all my clients, and I ask my clients to tag me. So when they're browsing through, then you could be like, oh, I wonder who shot their wedding. Oh, look,
That's it.
Yeah. So
tagging, I mean, it sounds simple, but you gotta do it.
Yes.
You really just gotta like tag everyone involved.
If you're posting anyway, just do it. It's like free. It's basically free advertisement.
Oh, and then here's something I didn't learn until just recently. If you like, what I like to do before I do a post, I'll write it in Word doc. I won't write it in the actual app itself, because I want to make sure everything's spelled right. I want to make sure, you know, everything's like spaced right, so it doesn't look all wonky.
Right.
But if you just copy and paste a tag, it won't tag them.
Nope, you actually
have to hit the @ symbol, which I'm using the wrong word for it, and then type in their name. Otherwise, it won't tag them.
Yep.
I have hundreds of posts that aren't tagged.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I think I'm the one that pointed it out, because you're like, they're not being tagged. I'm like, you can't copy and paste, which is super annoying.
It's super annoying.
It's super annoying. Especially, it's like for Instagram stories, I just posted the stories. I tagged the first 30 seconds, but forgot the rest, because I'm like, I don't want to keep doing that.
You have to do it every time you do a story. You have to re-tag everybody. Single
That's the one thing that's annoying about it.
I don't like that.
I should learn to keep my stories shorter, basically.
Or the algorithm should pick up and just understand that @ means
The whole thing.
the whole thing. And if I copy and paste, if there's an @ in my,
Then just freaking give it to us.
just give the tag.
Yeah.
It should be auto tagged. I totally agree.
Also, locations. Tag the
Yes.
locations,
Oh my
because
goodness.
people sometimes search by location. So they're looking for X near me. So
Right,
then if
right.
that hashtag, let's say a bride is looking for a wedding dress in Elgin, it'll be hashtag Elgin, hashtag bridal dresses.
Yeah. So what about, we've done a lot of examples with like weddings. What about someone who has like a storefront that sells popcorn?
Then you make sure that you're using the proper hashtags for that, and also your locations are, because people will search by that, right?
Yeah. So I think not only can you tag like the location, you can tag the town, you can tag like Riverfront Elgin or something like that, but you can also tag like big companies around there. Ooh. For instance, like I've been out and about where like I had to get my car fixed one day, but then you're sitting at the car dealer, you're like, I'm kind of hungry. Like if I'm looking up online, not just restaurants near me, but if I'm looking up that car dealer, wherever I'm getting my car fixed, and someone's food comes up, that means they're close.
Oh.
That means I'm not going to go out of my way to find a place. I don't have to Google map the location.
it.
I know they're close by.
Wow.
So
that's fascinating.
I didn't
know that.
So I think it's a little like leechy, a little like parasite-y to do that. But if you have like a big location near you, like a destination location.
If you're not literally stealing the same clientele,
correct.
it's fine.
Yeah, right. Well, if I'm going to get my car fixed, McDonald's
Yeah.
is not a predator of fixing my car.
Correct. That is correct.
Yeah.
So okay, that makes sense. That's actually a really good tip. Thank you.
I thought so. And also, I don't think you want to do too much of it. You don't want to like shove every other business around there on the tag because then they're gonna be like, "Why are you tagging me?" You're being obnoxious.
Yeah.
So
Be authentic about it.
Speaking of being obnoxious,
My
the
favorite subject.
next tip is something brought to us by Gary Vee. And if you don't know who Gary Vee is, Gary Vanderchuk, he is like the social media person. Probably the only videos I ever watch where literally as soon as I'm done watching them, I'm ready to go. I am on it.
He's so energized.
Feel like I can take on
him.
the world.
I love him.
His rule when coming to building a social media presence was called the $80 rule.
Okay, I think you told me about this, but refresh my memory.
Which is really funny because, like, I call it the $80 rule. You've been doing this for years.
But I didn't know it was
Gary Vee says you put your 2 cents on 90 different posts per day. Which, at first, it's like, that's a lot of numbers. But then you think, like, I could do that. I could do that.
So the 2 cents mean that you're commenting on 90?
You're commenting on 90 posts. But here's the issue. You cannot just post on 90 posts.
Why not?
Because you are trying to become the mayor of anything that you are posting on. What is the mayor most known for? Any mayor.
Making speeches?
Really?
I don't know. What do they know?
People know them.
Oh, that they
that
know
work?
who they are. It's not work, it's spam. Sorry. Oh yeah, I thought it was too obvious that that's who they are.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
People know the mayor. Even if you don't really know what they do, you know who the mayor is.
Right.
You want to become the mayor of a topic.
Oh, so like your name becomes familiar over and over
Bingo.
again for the people that you're trying to reach?
Bingo.
Okay.
So instead of just posting on any random post, especially friends post, I'm sorry guys, always post on your friends post because that's the good thing to do. But let's say you really want to get into wine.
Okay.
You are selling an amazing wine from your Chateau de Niles.
Got it.
Okay. And it's a great name, by the way.
I love it.
And you look up on Instagram, you look up on YouTube, you look up on any social media, hashtag wine.
Okay.
But that's a pretty broad
Yeah, so
thing.
you gotta narrow it
Maybe
down.
wine connoisseur or wine fanatics or whatever.
Okay.
Okay. You kind of break it down into like subcategories almost.
Okay.
And then you look at all the top posts in that one. And it doesn't have to be top for like all time because you're going to run out of time.
Got it.
So I usually like to do like top for the week.
Yes.
Or
most
recent.
Yes. Okay.
So you do the most recent.
Yep.
And then you put a comment of value on there. If you do something like great pick, awesome.
Or follow back.
Or if you're follow back, it's an instant. I will never follow you back.
No.
Again, I'm not my audience.
Nope.
But if you create something of value, a comment of value, like
What would be
I
a good example?
love that shirt. You look great in that. Your room is so well put together.
Got it.
Your wine label is beautiful. It's specific. If you just say beautiful, I don't care. But if you actually point out what it is,
that you actually bothered looking at the photo
Yes.
and thinking about what you're going to
Yes.
say. Okay, so that's what a comment of value
a
is.
comment of value.
Got it.
Now, that doesn't sound that big of a deal.
Right.
And what I do is I will make a cup of coffee, a large cup of coffee, and instead of doing my $80, because that's 90 comments,
Yes.
I'm doing 90 cents.
Okay.
I'm putting my 2 cents onto 45 posts
Per day?
per day.
Okay.
Am I really doing that? Not always, because it's a lot.
It's a good goal,
But
though.
I really try to.
Okay. Okay.
And if I do that, and you don't just do that one hashtag then, you do that hashtag on Mondays, Tuesdays, whatever. And the next one is wine fans,
Okay.
wine moms,
Okay.
wine glasses, whatever you want to get into. You find something around that area that's a little bit different.
So it's not the same.
It's not the same
Oh,
thing.
wow,
So you're getting
okay.
the brighter audience. Now, what you're doing by this is not trying to gain an audience. You're not trying to sell. You are trying to become the mayor of that topic.
Which means name recognition.
Because people are going to recognize your name
Got
over
it.
and over
Yep.
and over. We have a guy who posts on our YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Every video that comes out, this guy posts a comment on.
Really?
And after like 10 posts, I was like, I need to check this guy out. Who is he? And boom, like I followed him. I don't really get his videos, but I followed him.
Yeah.
So he got a follower from just saying great video.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
Because if you took that much effort to do it 10 times, you're paying attention.
That's it.
Oh, there we go. The penny just dropped. Sorry, the other cent is still coming later. Okay.
So, yeah. So you want to become the mayor of your topics.
Gotcha. That's freaking genius.
Now, it's work.
It is work, but it seems like it's less stress than actual coming up with a post.
It's way less stress.
So you could do that at least.
So literally, I think it's like half an hour to 45 minutes a day, which is a long time.
Yeah.
But I like to put on the news in the morning, coffee.
A lot of
and then
times you're just
comment.
sitting around anyway. Yeah.
Or, I mean, I don't mean to be crude, but if I'm going to the bathroom,
Yep.
you got like 10 minutes of nothing to do. Do you play the video game on your phone?
You can, or you can comment.
Or do you try and build your brand?
Yep.
I play a lot of video games.
Yeah, you do.
We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. Okay, you guys ready?
No.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? My name is Jaysin.
I'm Hilda.
I'm Nathan.
Together we are Eo7 Media, and this is the podcast Pitch Session. We sit down with a single brand, we go over some questions with them, and we build a marketing campaign full of photo, video content, and marketing advice for their brand.
I can't keep this all to myself. I got all you need, and I'm sharing the wealth. Talking it up, who should I tell? Like, blah, 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 blah. I can't keep this all to myself.
Are we supposed to do something now? Okay, what were we talking about before the break?
Oh, I'm so glad we are so on top of everything.
Yay.
So you've done your due diligence, you've posted every day, you've done your stories, you've made posts of actual value, you're commenting, you're engaging, you're doing all this great work. Now, what happens when someone contacts you for work?
If they reach out to you, try to set up a meeting.
Is it important if it's face-to-face, phone, or like video call?
For me, I always try to get a face-to-face meeting.
Yeah, me too.
My second option is a Zoom meeting where I could see them on video
Right.
or Facebook or whatever. And my last option always is phone. I don't know why. I'm not a fan.
We're not our audience, but we're
Yep.
not
phone
phone people. Not really a phone people. But I think setting up that meeting is really important.
Very.
Don't just send a quote unless you have a business that is just sending, your price is already
Yes.
structured. Get a meeting, because what it all breaks down to is you're solving an issue for a client,
Yes.
not just doing a thing.
And you want to make sure it's the right client for you as well.
So when they contact you, set up the meeting, but before that meeting goes live, like get that meeting on the books, get them to have a meeting with you.
Yeah.
But have a pitch prepared.
Okay.
So that means you are doing your research on the company, you're understanding
Yep.
their social media that are already doing. Like for us, this is what
Yeah.
we do, is we deal with digital content and digital marketing.
Yep.
So we look at their social media, we look at their website, we look at their online presence already, and then we look at their branding. We look at who they're trying to reach.
Yes.
Is the branding actually reaching
And
that
where they're
audience?
missing the mark.
And then where they're missing the
Yeah.
mark and what we can do to provide for
Yeah.
them. Because they're going to come to you and want like, oh, well, we want this. It's like, well, we will give you that. We will happily make you that. But have you considered this? Because this is where we see your brand is not doing so hot on.
Yes.
Because we are professionals and we want their brand to grow.
Yes.
And
And this, you sort of have to make sure that they trust you. You don't.
true.
You have to make sure they trust you.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're not selling yourself as a professional.
Right, right.
So it's like if they don't trust you, they're not going to hire you. And if you, I think that's why face-to-face meetings are so important, because it's hard to convey trust and confidence and knowledge through the phone. For me it is anyway. I need to be looking at somebody's face.
I think
very
it's
important.
pivotal.
Yeah.
It's really pivotal because regardless of what business you do, and you are doing business with people.
Yes, always. And to me, that requires a face-to-face to see if we click. Personality and the vision has to match.
And the vision has to match,
Yes.
because like I just said, like you have to prepare a pitch, but maybe that pitch doesn't work for that brand.
Yes.
We have to have that cohesion to understand what you need versus what you want versus what you're actually going to get.
Yes. So plan A and plan B going
Yeah.
into that. And the pitch sounds a little harsh, to be honest, because I'm not a pitchy
Right,
person.
right.
But like at least know what you're going, like have a cohesive thought or
Yeah.
one sentence in mind that this is what I'm going to talk about.
Understand who they are, understand
Yes.
what they need and what they want, and then give suggestions.
Ask questions.
Ask questions.
Yes.
We'll get into that in a little bit.
Yep.
That's a whole other episode.
Sorry, I'm always jumping.
I know, me too. Jumping into the pool face first. So after the meeting, though, just like if you were to do an interview for a job, you know how
right.
you send a little note to say
Yep.
thank you.
You always follow
What
up.
should you do to follow up?
100% at least an email, not a phone call. Not a phone
Well,
call.
because
That's annoying.
You're literally
Yes.
bothering someone's
Yes,
business.
yes.
Yeah.
But reaching out through email, video, you could. Don't you like sending the thank you videos?
That's my favorite thing in the world.
Why?
One, I deal with video, so it just becomes second nature. Like, I think you should send a photo of you, like, waving. No,
That's cheesy.
is that cheesy? Okay.
It's super cheesy.
So with
a video, though, I would feel less cheesy because I'm like,
Okay.
oh, blah blah blah, thank you, and then wave.
and that's what it is. It
Yeah.
takes 15 seconds of your day to make a quick video, and no one does it. No one's ever done it to me, but I saw someone do it for another client once, and I thought it was amazing. It takes no time. And when I started doing it for my clients, holy crap, the emails I got
Really?
back. I have some people who have written reviews who have remembered that in the very beginning, where they said, after our meeting, he sent a video, and I was like, I didn't know it was that impactful.
Wow.
But it's such a small footprint of time to make that giant of an impact
Interesting.
on your potential clients.
I mean, it probably takes me 5 to 10 minutes to draft up an email and spell check it and
Yes.
whatever. I can make a video a lot faster.
And even if you goof up, it's okay because it's showing your personality.
Wow. That's actually a valid point. Thank you.
I'm a big valid person. This is all validity.
You got to do something about that.
Too much validness. So guys, we love and answering your questions. We love hearing from you. So make sure you send us a letter, an email. You can send it via a smoke signal. We might not get it, but a carrier pigeon we do love. They taste delicious. Let's bring it home.
We're not eating pigeons.
I'm not eating pigeons. They're really high in fat. So guys, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Jaysin.
I think I'm Hilda.
I think you are too. We are Eo7 Media. We help brands and businesses grow through brand storytelling, whether that be photos, video, or digital marketing. We love helping other companies foster their vision so that they can show that to the world, because there's nothing cooler, really. There really is nothing cooler than like showing other people what you already know is cool. Like something that you have wholehearted love in,
That is correct.
and then showing the rest of the world, like, look how amazing this is.
I agree.
So how can they reach us, Hilda?
They can reach us through all our socials. And
Like what?
Eo7
Because
Media.
we have a lot
We're
of
not
socials.
plugging.
What socials are we on, Hilda?
We are on Instagram. We are most definitely on YouTube. We are also on Facebook. We are on Vimeo.
We are.
Okay, what else? Are we on
TikTok.
Even
Yep.
though you don't like it, we're
I'm
still
not a
on
fan,
it?
but I know that I'm not my audience.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you actually publishing?
I am.
Okay.
I'm publishing
All right.
actually pretty regularly.
So we're on all the socials then. Oh, LinkedIn.
Yeah.
LinkedIn. Nobody sees it, but we're on it.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but don't ever let a recipe tell you how many chocolate chips go in a bake. You measure that with your heart.
This is the good life.
You've been listening to Coffee and Cameras with Jaysin Osterkamp and Hilda Burke, an Eo7 Media production. For more information, check out our website at eo7media.com.
This is the